Hi, I'm Kendra with WTMAstrology, and today I'm talking about Taurus and Aquarius compatibility. This is actually one of the more difficult pairings. These are both fixed signs, but they are square signs. They're 90 degrees away from one another in the zodiac, meaning that there's a lot of tension happening between these two signs. So we have Taurus, which is fixed earth, and Aquarius, which is fixed air. So we have fixed routine, fixed methods, fixed within the material realm, and then we have fixed ideas being air. There's a lot of attraction that can happen between any two signs that are square one another, especially if you're the kind of person that enjoys tension within a relationship or it feels like it keeps things spicy or whatever. But Taurus and Aquarius are going to have a lot of tension, and that is going to cause this initial attraction. You often see Taurus and Aquarius couples just because there's that square attraction. So there's this feeling of this person being so different from me, and yet there's something that connects us. There's something that we share in common, which is that fixed energy. Um, so there is this initial attraction. They're fascinated by one another. It's kind of, this just fascination because they're so different from you. Taurus will appreciate Aquarius for their zaniness, for their innovativeness, their new ideas, the things that they are bringing to the table, which is just this kind of crazy, zany, eccentric energy. Taurus can really enjoy and appreciate the fact that Aquarius has this kind of more cerebral, zany energy to them. And find that really attractive. Taurus feels, Aquarius can really bring some fun into their life and, really shake things up for them. Aquarius will appreciate Taurus for their kind of groundedness and their, connection to the physical material realm. Aquarius is this kind of other earthly energy. They're often compared to aliens because they kind of act and feel a lot of the time like they're not of this world. They never fit in, even from childhood. So it's almost fascinating to Aquarius that Taurus is so connected to the earth, so connected to, those routines and how to kind of navigate through this earthly realm. And they might even look to Taurus to kind of stabilize them. Aquarius actually has this way of being in a relationship or relating to other people in general. It's kind of like almost like an observation. Like they're kind of watching the other person because they feel like they're not of this realm, like they're aliens, they're, new earthlings or whatever. They can kind of watch people, no matter what sign it is, but, different reasons for Taurus, but they will kind of watch their partner, kind of watch the people that they interact with, almost as if they're kind of trying to learn how to navigate planet Earth. So that'll be kind of the dynamic with anyone, but for Taurus, it'll be because they're kind of fascinated by Taurus' ability to navigate this material realm. At the risk of laying it on too thick with the whole Aquarius as an alien thing, it's almost as though sometimes in their relationships they're trying to kind of collect um, the best that planet Earth has to offer, like they're trying to get the best specimen or something. Taurus being ruled by Venus, being kind of naturally attractive, naturally connected to aesthetics and the material realm. Um, Aquarius might be like almost kind of like this is a planet Earth novelty. Like, I got the best one. I got the best human. I used to date a guy. I have Venus and Taurus, and I used to date a guy who had Venus and Aquarius, and he used to always say that I was the perfect human specimen. And I thought that was so funny. Likewise, Taurus also likes to collect pretty things. Aquarius, it's almost kind of like they're collecting the best one for scientific purposes or, scientific study or something. And then, with Taurus, they just like pretty things. And Aquarius does tend to have this kind of striking appearance. They're eccentric. They tend to have sometimes like an eccentric appearance. Even if they kind of have normal features, they'll do things to stand out from the crowd and be like, have different hair colors and things like that. It's not always going to be that way, but more often than not, when I see Aquarius, there's always some kind of unusualness to their appearance, but in a pretty strikingly attractive way. I've never seen it look bad or anything. So Taurus might see Aquarius and just see them as like this beautiful, new kind of thing that they can have. In the long term, it's the same things that bring these people together, the things that attract them to one another that end up making them crazy. So here's how inevitably Taurus and Aquarius will make each other crazy. Taurus is this grounded earthly energy. This is, the sign that likes to make things grow, that likes to focus themselves on something material and tangible, and grow that thing, to have tangible results. Aquarius is just about those fixed ideas, fixating on an idea, growing an idea. And, if you were able to make these two work together, they could be very good at having amazing, innovative ideas and bringing them into fruition in the material realm. Like, it could be a great match as far as, scientific study or something like that, because you'd have that, innovative energy of Aquarius and then the Taurus ability to bring that into the material realm, manifest it into the material realm. So that could be great in that kind of dynamic. But as far as uh, a relationship, not so much, okay? So Aquarius does not like to be told what to do, neither does Taurus, and they're both going to have their very own, very specific ways of doing things. And both can be kind of pushy with other people while still wanting to maintain that, autonomy for themselves. This can be a pretty difficult pairing in that way. I know that Aquarius can feel that Taurus is boring because they have such stability, they have so much focus on the material realm and growing things within the material realm. Aquarius can interpret that as boring, not fun, just wanting to stay home or be together, spend time with each other, and grow their relationship. Aquarius may want to, you know, get out there and, rock the boat. Aquarius is really, it's a very erratic energy as well, that with Aquarius. So things can be really great one day and really bad the next. It's kind of that way with all Aquarius energy, and it's not just with relationships. Aquarius can be very committed to an idea or to a person and honestly just literally change their minds very quickly, but because they're fixed, they act as though it was always that way. Here's where I've seen Taurus and Aquarius couples go wrong. We have that grounded energy of Taurus, and then we have that, not so grounded but still fixed energy of Aquarius. And Aquarius will be very adamant because they are those fixed ideas. They will be adamant that they feel a certain way about Taurus. Let's just say that it's in the context of a romantic relationship because that's what I have experience with. They are adamant that they feel a certain way about Taurus. They are in love. They're over the moon. They have these fixed expressions of love. They could even be obsessed with Taurus. And Taurus feels the same way. Taurus feels totally obsessed, totally wrapped up in Aquarius, and they are just absolutely enamored. Well, here's the thing. Taurus means it. Aquarius means it. But Taurus is going to continue to mean it, and Aquarius may not. So I'm not trying to talk down about Aquarius. Aquarius is my favorite sign, okay? So I'm not going to talk down about Aquarius. But this is something that they do, and it's something to be cautious about because Taurus is not going to change their minds about Aquarius generally. Once they've given their heart to Aquarius or anyone, they're not going to change their minds just like that. It's really, really hard for Taurus to move on from a relationship, being that earth fixed energy. They're committed. They are, they've really given themselves to that person. They've already invested themselves into that person. And it does take a lot for Taurus to even want to invest. I'm not going to get into too much personal information, but with that, my Venus in Taurus and this ex of mine, his Venus in Aquarius. Now remember, Aquarius is those fixed ideas. So he would get it in his mind that I was cheating on him or something. He would come up with some way that I was betraying him, and he had his own reasons for thinking that, but they were inaccurate. I was not cheating on him. I never did. Taurus doesn't even know how necessarily to comfort someone, and they're not super emotional themselves. Aquarius isn't emotional. Taurus isn't super emotional. Earth is sensible. So they don't even necessarily know how to comfort someone who is falsely accusing them. I didn't know how to defend myself against something that I wasn't doing. There was no evidence that I wasn't doing it. He just had it in his head. And Taurus is kind of like, well, that's silly. So, okay, that's pretty much it. That's just silly. And so he would disappear for days at a time and then come back saying he loved me so much and, he just needed some time alone, blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't communicate any of that though. He would just disappear. And my little Venus and Taurus heart was all over the place. And Taurus does not like to be all over the place, especially when they entered into a committed relationship with Aquarius, which is what I did. And especially after entering into a committed relationship with Aquarius, where they expressed stability. They expressed, wanting a stable and committed relationship, and they did mean it, but they didn't continue to mean it. And with Aquarius being fixed, they will hold on to Taurus as well, but because they have that erratic energy, they're more able to detach from it. Aquarius is naturally able to detach anyway, but they're more able to detach from that than Taurus, which is all right up in there, committed and ready to go forever. So basically, I feel that this can be a massive conflict, especially if Aquarius is presenting as more invested than they really are. And I'm not saying at all that Aquarius is necessarily being deceptive. They may very much feel that they are committed and they are in it for the long haul. And they really, really believe that. And Taurus really believes that. That's the problem, is that Aquarius is that erratic up and down energy. Modern ruler is Uranus. So Uranus is the planet of sudden change and, liberation, breaking free of everything. Aquarius will suddenly and erratically break free of Taurus, break free of whatever they feel confines them. And it's extremely painful for Taurus, who is so invested and is not detached. They're right there. I mean, they're not emotional like, Cancer or Pisces or anything like that. They're not like super emotional, but they are invested and they're grounded. And once they have planted something, they want to watch it grow. They don't want it ripped out of the ground, to speak metaphorically. And that is the problem with Taurus and Aquarius. That is the problem right there. Aquarius will suddenly and abruptly rip it out of the ground, and they have every right to do so. It is anyone's prerogative to leave any relationship that they don't want to be in any longer. Again, I'm not dogging Aquarius for that. They have every right to leave anytime they want, but it is very painful for Taurus. I feel that for both parties, I mean, typically the problem would be Taurus being very possessive of Aquarius, but I've seen it play out in my relationship to where Aquarius was also very possessive of Taurus. And it was because Aquarius is those fixed ideas. They latch onto an idea about something happening, and it can just grow and grow and grow and spiral out of control a little bit, because Aquarius, once they have something in their minds, it can be very difficult for them to let it go. And they believe their own thoughts over what you're saying to them. This particular dynamic, I ended up being very personal with it. I ended up saying a lot about my own relationship. I didn't mean for it to go in that direction. I feel that the dynamic with my ex and I is actually a pretty good example of how these two energies can play out. And I've had other relationships with Aquarius and Aquarius types that have gone similarly. So I think it's a good example of how these two energies will interact. So that's all I have to say about Taurus and Aquarius dynamic. I really hope you enjoy this video. I did want to remind you that I have relationship readings in my store. Check the link in the description of this video, and I hope you have a great day.